No, your eyes do not deceive you. I'm doing exactly what the video title says. I've played Huniepop an extensive amount for obvious reasons. Also because I find the puzzle gameplay weirdly addicting, especially in Huniepop 2. So, I think it would be fun to rank all of the girls from Huniepop 1 and Huniepop 2, ranking them based on their looks, their outfits, their personality, and even the gameplay elements from Huniepop 2, like the baggage. Yes, there is gameplay to talk about. We'll talk about the girls that appear in Huniepop 1, but doesn't come back for Huniepop 2, so we'll go back to Jessie and Lola later. But for now, let's see what all the girls in Huniepop 1 has to offer. Momo makes me extremely uncomfortable to date. One of the secret characters in Huniepop 1, Momo is a cat girl. The game came around the same time as Nekopara, so you can see where the inspiration came from. She's a cat girl, and she's lost and doesn't have a master, which made me audibly groan. I'm not into the whole master and cat maid type deal, just sort of rubs me the wrong way. Momo's personality is to act super cute and adorable and be a cat. It doesn't work for me. Also, her high-pitched voice gets really grating the more she talks. Maybe that's the point, that she's supposed to be annoying because of the crowd she's trying to appeal to. Since Momo is a cat, all of her questions are cat related. I don't know a damn thing about cats, so I always gotta use Google to answer any of her questions correctly. So that also kind of brings her down for me. Is there anything I like about Momo? Well, despite me not being into the whole cat girl thing, she is kinda cute. I like her default outfit, her Polish kitty outfit. Yeah, that's about it. Other than that, I don't really like Momo. I usually make sure to finish her first, so I would have to interact with her less and less. I do not like Audrey, because not only is she just rude, which automatically makes her annoying, but she's a tsundere. Except she doesn't have any sort of sweet side at all. She's just cruel all the time.
What the fuck? Of course you screwed it up! Again?
That's exactly what you asked for! Are you joking?
Bitch, do I look like I'm joking? How am I supposed to rock around like this?
You're fucking loco! This is how I always cut your nasty ass hair!
Nasty ass hair? Ugh, don't even! Look who's talking, skank.
No, bitch! My hair isn't dried out and reeking of smoke, okay?
Whatever, ho. Why don't you go get knocked up again?
Audrey appeals to those who want to teach those spoiled bratty types a lesson, which is not my thing. Unlike Momo, I do get a few laughs out of Audrey with some of her dialogue, and her questions are at least kind of easy because it mostly is about matching her bitch energy. I also do think at the very least she has a good set of outfits. I think the only other interesting thing about Audrey is the secret that she was a virgin before you two hook up. That was a surprise. Other than that, not my type at all. I just find her really annoying. I used to hate Tiffany back when this game first came out. Now I'm just kind of indifferent to her. Tiffany is the essential girl next door kind of character. She's very sweet, honestly pretty pleasant to be around overall. I do like her default outfit, even if it is just a school uniform. She even has some decent alternate outfits, but nothing that really got me pushing my face to the screen or leaving my mouth agape. So why do I rank Tiffany so low still? The reason is a little petty and stems from when I was playing the game as a teenager, but I thought Tiffany had some of the hardest questions to answer in the game because she's very hard to examine. For example, she asks you how many girls you slept with. You would probably think the right answer is maybe none or a few. No, it's like the one you least expected to be the answer. Saying I lost count around 40, she laughs it off and thinks of it as a joke, like, what? Or she asks you if you still keep in contact with your ex. That question is just always hard to answer, video game or not. You would think saying no is the move here, but it's not. Saying that you do keep in contact with them is the right answer. Again, I know my reasoning for her still being kinda low is a little petty, but it's not completely unjustified. In the early game where you're limited on resources and you want to take advantage of getting as many honey points as possible, Tiffany can kinda screw you over sometimes. She definitely did for me, and I've always held a grudge against her since. Her chilling picture is kinda nice though. So, I've lessened my distaste for Tiffany, but she still doesn't intrigue me. For the final girl to conquer and bet in this game, Venus makes the most sense. She is the higher up to the girl that's been guiding you all game, the goddess of the love fairies. She is absolutely gorgeous as well, and she has some of the sexiest costumes in the game. I mean, look at Sinful Wish. She is looking fine. There is a giant elephant in the room when it comes to Venus. She looks like Palutena from Kid Icarus. Even when looking at the full name, Diatena Venus, it's pretty on the nose. I have no problem with her looking like Palutena because Palutena is sexy as hell. I more so think that Venus's personality is a little boring. She's the goddess of love, so she's very regal, refined, ladylike, and elegant. Not a bad thing per se, but when you compare her to the character she's inspired by, I can't help but feel a little disappointed. Palutena carries that regal, refined, and elegant charm while also being very nerdy, clumsy, and sassy. Venus only has the look, and that's about it. I do like some of her questions though. Since she is the final girl, she does ask you specific things like who has the largest chest size, how many girls have blue eyes, who weighs the least. I really like these as a way to show you've really been paying attention to all the girls you've been dating. I like that. I still think Venus is cool. I just wish she was more interesting personality wise. Oh, Nikki. I used to look at you as a kindred spirit, and in some ways, you still kind of are. Nikki is the most relatable character to me personality wise. She's just like me for real, but almost to a fault where I see myself in her and it makes me cringe. It's not exactly her fault, but I don't have a lot of fond memories of my past self. But you guys didn't click on this video for a trauma dump. You came here for a Gunnar analysis. Nikki being who she is already puts her in a high placement because she's so relatable. She likes video games, like me. She's very introverted, like me. She's also very self-conscious about her self-image, much like me. When she agreed that her favorite place to hang out is her room, I'm just like, oh yeah, we're on the same wavelength. I found a lot of her questions easy to relate to as well because we share some similar ideals. So I ended up really gravitating to Nikki when I was younger. She may not be my favorite anymore these days, but I still think very fondly of her. I was really sleeping on her outfits back then. Looking at them again, Nikki's really cute. Even after all these years, Nikki still hits all the right notes for me. Belly is such a sweetheart. She's someone who is more in tune with her spiritual side, and she's someone who really believes in true love. A lot of questions are based on self-reflection stuff like, is there life after death? What does happiness mean to you? Stuff like that. You can also see from her mannerisms and other questions she asks you that she's very insecure about herself, asking things like, what would you change about herself? Or how do you feel about girls shaving down there? Hey, gotta ask the real questions here. I can relate to the insecurity thing myself in terms of body image. I think one that really spoke to me was her asking if you looked your partner in the eyes when making love. Back then, I didn't think much of it, but I've realized as I've grown older that eye contact during such an intimate moment is the most intense feeling in the world, and it activates the neurons in my brain. I'm a sucker for affection, I'm sorry. Belly just makes you feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside. Belly is sweet, but also, damn, she has some of the sexiest selection of outfits in the game, especially that swimsuit Jessie got her on me. Woo! She is a beauty. One of the characters I would say is 10 out of 10 in all outfit choices. Ah, Celeste, you've awakened things I didn't know I was into. The other secret character of Huniepop 1, and she's an alien. A very bodacious one at that. She's a bounty hunter and you primarily see her during the nighttime. I want to get this out of the way. She is another character with 10 out of 10 costumes. Her default is already really great, having an opening for her breasts. I also realized that her top is cut around like an upside down heart, and that had to be intentional, right? Then you see her other outfits, and I remember I had to lean very closely to my screen to realize that what I was seeing was real. The bounty hunter latex suit with the nipple clips, the Star Wars slave outfit, this one with the whole midsection revealed, the swimsuit. Like, goodness gracious, I need that so bad. She's perfect. Except for one thing. The only issue I had was that her questions revolved around, well, the planets in space. And I'm gonna be honest, I am not good at planetary science. I was pretty awful at science in general when I was in school, so I tended to struggle a lot when it came to these questions. Other than that though, Celeste is absolutely phenomenal. Plus, she has a high tolerance for alcohol, so getting sentiment with her was a little easier compared to the others, which is a plus. Kiana is a character that unlocked something within me that I didn't even know I liked the idea of. When you first see her, she's working out in the gym. She's heavy into exercising and loves working out. And she says something in particular that got me curious.
Oh, dude, you know what? You have to try one of the yoga classes they do here. The instructor is awesome. I think you'd dig it. If you like being in a room with a bunch of sweaty girls, that is.
Back then, I didn't quite get the appeal, but as I've grown up, I'm like, hold on. Let her cook. Especially when you see one of her pictures when she's working out, and I mean, damn. I'll clean her up myself. There is something about Kiana that is a deal breaker for a lot of people. She's a single mother. Yes, she has a baby, and there's no baby daddy in the picture, which plays into some of her questions, like her asking how you feel about kids, how you feel about stability, and unplanned pregnancies. Tough questions if you're someone who hasn't thought about wanting kids or doesn't want kids at all. I will say, Kiana has a very bubbling personality, and I do like how energetic she is. She's so chill, but can also be very teasing as well. She's also another character with a 10 out of 10 track record for outfits. I love her default outfit, and I especially love the Hey Mamacita outfit. I also think her Checkmate and Lemon Cream outfit are really good, especially with those particular hairstyles. If you ask me if I would be the father to step up for Kiana, I damn sure ain't telling you. I will say though, she's very high on the list for a reason. I can't think of a better mascot for a game like this than Q. She is the perfect type of character to be both your guide and your wingman. She is the girl you'll spend most of your time with, as she is practically your tutorial guide and also your constant commentator throughout the game. She's home to some of the funniest dialogue in the game, and I always enjoy her commentary on each of the girls and how to approach them on dates. Her voice actor is amazing.
Dude, bro, Asian chicks, don't even get me started. I have like the worst case of yellow fever ever. Like a yellow plague. Man, will you get a load of these two? I'd kill to have tits like that. This chick is clearly out of your league, but there may be hope.
In Huniepop 2, she's at her most unhinged. Her dialogue is more raunchy, but the comedy has increased. It kind of makes me sad that you don't get to date her in Huniepop 2 because she is the most hilarious character in the game. Just listen to the dialogue here.
Whoa, who is this angel? She's like an 11, no, a 12? Fuck. This is the kind of chick that's so hot, you almost wouldn't mind getting the herp from her, you know? Like, this bitch is so hot, I would pay her just to spit in my face. I would suck her knees. I would chug a 2-liter of her genital juice like I was a competitive fucking eater.
You sick freak!
The only real flaw I have with Q, and it's not so much a flaw in itself, but just a joke that kinda gets overplayed. This is mostly an issue in Huniepop 1 that they toned down significantly in Huniepop 2, but Q in that game likes to speak in black slang. The white girl speaking black is nothing new and it's not even offensive in the slightest. It gets a laugh out of me the first 5 to 6 times, but the joke wears out the longer your playtime gets. It's nothing huge that ruins Q, but just a joke that gets old pretty quick. She does have a nice selection of outfits too. Anyway, top tier mascot. This was probably expected, and I've seen some other Huniepop players share the same sentiment. Aiko is easily the best girl in Huniepop 1. She is oddly relatable in the sense that she's not very happy in the position she's currently in and is just coasting by kind of unhappy. So all the jokes she would make and her excitement of getting a drink after a long day hits now that I'm closer to her age. I also like the fact that her ideal vacation is chilling at home. Relatable because after a long week of work, I don't want to do anything. Aiko is also one of the funniest characters because when you actually give her unique gifts, she calls you out for being racist. Which, I mean, when you look at the gifts you give her, she kind of has a point.
God, you are so racist.
She's also a mega freak. And it was with Aiko that I've had some major breakthroughs about myself as a person that would carry on into my adult life. She asked me what my biggest turn on is, with the right answer being a woman moaning, and then she does this.
You mean like this? Oh.
This awakened that I really love vocal stimulation because moaning drives me wild. Then she asks you what's your most messed up fantasy, with the right answer being chained to the bed and dominated, to which she replies, that could be arranged. Which, I think it was at that point I realized I leaned to the submissive side. You can also answer that one of the craziest places you want to do it in is underneath her desk during class, which really turns her on. She would definitely be down for that, especially considering one of the pictures she sent you is, I obviously can't show it, but wow. It is one of the freakiest pictures in the entire game. And of course, Aiko is 10 out of 10 when it comes to costume choices, whether it be her default school uniform, the February Air, or that swimsuit. Chef's kiss, especially with all those hairstyles. She is so good looking. I think it is very clear that I love Aiko a whole lot, and she's easily the best girl in the first Huniepop, so she takes the top spot in this part of the tier list. So far, this is how the tier list looks before the Huniepop 1 girls. Now we're going to move on to the Huniepop 2 girls. This one will carry the same criteria with personalities, costumes, and questions, but now we got the added factor of baggage. Baggage is the main new mechanic of Huniepop 2, and it affects the gameplay a whole lot depending on the character. So now characters can get ranked based on how tolerable or how annoying their baggage is while playing the game. And boy, do I have a lot to say.
It's such a peaceful day, isn't it? I don't think anything could disturb this tranquility.
I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. Sarah is the worst girl that they've ever introduced into Huniepop across both games. She actually makes me feel less horny to play the game every time she opens her mouth. She's a weeb to the extreme. Hearing her trying to speak Japanese just makes me want to mute the game, so personality is obnoxious. It was intentional, it worked, and I hate it. It doesn't feel like any of the other girls actually connect with Sarah. She just kind of barges her way in to be compatible, besides Brooke, because she works for her.
Wanna be friends?
I'm sorry, but I'm not feeling a very strong connection.
Please?
Okay. If you promise to stop doing that, please.
Something I can help you with?
Nope. Just saying hi. So, hi.
Hi.
I like that dot under your eye. What is that? Does it hurt? Can I touch it?
My mole? Nah, it don't hurt. But I kinda prefer it if you didn't touch it.
Okay.
Her outfits are the only aspects of her that I think are pretty decent. She has a good set of outfits, I will admit. Her default is the see-through dress where you can see her panties. That's pretty good. The kimochi one, the overalls, the kitty cat, and the panda hoodie are also pretty nice on her. But then, her baggage. To match with her personality, she comes with an annoying set of baggage. The first one being appropriately titled Annoying as Fuck. Gives a 15% chance of Sarah leaving broken hearts on the grid. This one is sort of a double-edged sword. If you're not using a gift to change the broken hearts into tokens, it'll cause you trouble. If you do, then it will be a big benefit. Then there's Attention Whore, where there's a 15% chance that she'll force you to switch to her. It's kind of a nothing baggage because you could just instantly swap back to the other date. Just a minor inconvenience. Then there's Smelly Pussy. Because this nasty weeb only showers twice a week and only brushes her teeth 3 times a week, she lowers the chances of passion tokens dropping. Which sucks because passion is one of the most important tokens, especially in the latter half of the game and alpha mode, because that's how you gain points quicker. Even worse because you have to balance it out between both girls. I cannot stand Sarah. Not in the slightest. Not only is she annoying, but she's also filthy. The team achieved the goal of making an obnoxious character, so S tier for that. But F tier as a girl in Huniepop. Abia is a sex-crazed demon. There's no better way to put it. The thing that usually is on her mind is sex. That's her personality for the most part. All of her questions, her dialogue, all items revolving around her. She's the gooner that people pretend that they are.
You're free to go on my face. Wait, you're free to go on your way.
So, officer, since we've basically been to second base, do I at least get to know your name?
Oh, right, of course. My name is Labia. Abia. Sorry.
What's your favorite film?
My favorite? Well, lately I've been watching the one with you and Brandy Lux a lot.
I remember that one. That was a fun shoot. Brandy really knows how to work with her tongue.
Yeah.
Back then, I found it funny. Now it's just, I don't know, it doesn't really hit the same. I'm actually more interested when she's not talking about it to learn more about her, but there's not enough of that. I do like Abia's costumes overall, with and without the headpiece. Not my favorite selection, but still pretty solid overall. She does have some more manageable baggage in this game. Sex Addict absorbs sexuality tokens on the grid anytime a move is made on her. Harmless, but maybe it might mess up a combo if you were aiming to do something. Still a beneficial one for the most part. Selfie facing is an easy one to get around. She just won't accept a gift unless you give the other date a gift. Easy to deal with, especially if you decide to give them a food item that makes them start with more sentiment. The only one that may be a problem is One Pump Chump, where she loses half of her sentiment whenever a 4-of-a-kind match is made on her, which does suck if you're trying to build a big combo around her, so you might have to use your gifts prematurely. Abia was always on the lower end of Huniepop 2 girls for me. I just think I'd stopped caring for her over time. She's still fine, she's not bad, but I always end up forgetting about her most of the time. Ashley is your supermodel fuck buddy that you get with on a consistent basis. She is quite the individual. She's like that person that just trash talks you all the time, but is all in fun for the most part and not that deep. This archetype of character is hit or miss. Some of her questions freak me out, but these are questions that your crazy homeboy would be asking you, so it's not exactly out of the ordinary. Ashley being a fashion model must mean she has an amazing set of costumes, right? And the answer is yes. Her outfit selection is some of my favorite in the game. She is sexy. My favorites being the Stay Black, the Skater Girl one, on brand, and her swimsuit and lingerie. She also has a costume inspired by that old Earth-chan girl meme, if anyone remembers that. She also gets to wear Aiko's outfit. It looks good on her. My main complaint with Ashley has to do with her baggage. She has some of the most annoying baggages in the game, and when paired with characters like Nora, she just makes everything worse. Easily bored makes it so you can't do the same type of matches or she'll remove an extra turn. This doesn't just apply to her. This also applies to your other date as well. This puts a damper on your plan for grinding up for things like joy, sentiment, and passion tokens. If there's a lot of them around the grid, you kinda have to avoid it because she's gonna take away an extra turn. I mean, sure, you could go deal with another token. However, if there's a really good setup, sometimes you can't capitalize on it. Otherwise, Ashley would go, "Somebody better spice this up quick." I hate that voice line so much. Commitment issues has you restrict how many moves you can make on Ashley before she starts draining points after 4 turns. She doesn't like being tied down. This is workable, but it can be tricky if you just so happen to accidentally make the other girl upset by an unseen move you weren't aware of. Then you're stuck with Ashley, who has 2 more turns before she gets upset, but you need to focus on her in order to get the other girl to recover. This has been a situation I've been in, and it has screwed me over royally before. Her allergies prevent you from giving gifts like candles and flowers. I'm someone who uses the candles quite a bit, so I can gain more of their types of preferred tokens. So her restricting that kind of puts a damper on those plans, and you're at the mercy of whether or not the game wants to decide to give you the tokens you need to succeed. So that's not a fun one either. I have mixed feelings on Ashley. I don't hate her, but I don't think she's very pleasing to be around altogether. Plus, her baggage can be obnoxious with her combination of dates. Oh yeah, there's also the incest thing with Lillian.
Ash, we're not like blood relatives, right?
Nah, we're related by marriage. I thought you already knew that.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just double checking.
You sick freak!
Oh, Candace, you are special. Wait, that came out completely wrong. Candace is the funniest character in the game for reasons that are morally wrong, but you can't help but laugh. Candace is an exotic dancer, and she's not very bright. She's such a sweetheart, but her not being smart is the crux of her personality, much like Abya's addiction to sex. Which is funny because Abya is always spending her money at Candace's club. Now, you would think, much like Abya, the one-note personality would get tiring, but no, it doesn't. I feel awful about it, but I laugh every time Candace opens her mouth.
It's fine, it's fine. Anyway, I got your stuff. You got the money?
The cocaine?
Jesus, are you stupid? How many times I gotta tell you to be quiet?
Shoot. Sorry. I forgot again. No kidding. You got one of those too? My invisible friend's name is Sparkles. She's a doggy. She's dumb too? Bro, I can't. I think I'm in love.
Her unique gifts are toddler toys. The blocks, the animal wheel. It's not funny. It's not funny. I promise it's not funny. Candace does have a lot of good selection of costumes. I would show more of them, but due to the nature of Candace's character, I can't really show it on YouTube. I'll at the very least share the vanilla cream one, which is my favorite of her outfits. When it comes to baggage, Candace does have one baggage that's completely RNG dependent, and it's one of the most frustrating ones in the game. Forgetful is a 5% chance that Candace will remove a gift with a passive buff that you gave her. So something like a candle to increase your chances of getting specific tokens. There's a chance that this could happen twice in one day, and it's happened to me before, costing me a date. So now you just kind of wasted your sentiment for nothing because she just forgot it. The other ones are a little easier to work around with. Intellectually challenged. Come on now, really? Intellectually challenged just means that 4 of a kind matches just uses an extra turn instead of using extra stamina. It does mean you do have to be a little more careful when doing 4 of a kind matches with her, but if you are really ahead in getting to the goal, then you could probably risk a 4 of a kind for at least 1 or 2 turns. Hypersensitive means if Candace gets upset, she will drain 30% passion from both herself and her date. This one, you just have to be really careful. But I like Candace. She makes me laugh. For the wrong reasons, but she makes me laugh. I love her. I've been flip-flopping about how I feel about Lillian for years. And I think I just come to the conclusion that, yeah, she's alright, I guess. Lillian is the angsty girl who hates everything and always want to be dark and brooding, and you know those kind of archetypes. A very exaggerated caricature, which kind of makes her a little boring on the personality side.
I wish the plane would have crashed. Maybe then she'd finally be happy.
I think one thing I kind of like about Lillian is when she asks you questions about her certain interests, you kind of get a little glimpse of how she really acts when you answer them correctly.
If you contacted a dead person, what would you want to ask them? Yes! That's so hard. I would haunt the fuck out of my stupid idiot little brother. What's the most fucked up place you've ever had sex? Are you serious? Fuck, that's really hot. Oh, I definitely need to do that at some point.
Her outfit selection is really good. I really like her Molgoth and Panda Bear one. The Trapped Soul one is really great. I love the fishnet tops. I really wish I could like Batwings more because I do like the swimsuit, but it's that goddamn haircut. I'm just not personally a fan of it. The Vampirist lingerie though, chef's kiss. Sweet Dreams is also a really cute one on her, and she actually rocks Audrey's base outfit pretty well, surprisingly. She does have some pretty obnoxious baggage though. Her asthma makes it so 4-of-a-kind matches makes her lose extra stamina, which you really don't want in cases like these, so you have to play extra carefully with her when it comes to 4-of-a-kind matches. Then there's also Teen Angst, which makes joy tokens actually subtract the move when you match it at Lillian, which, come on now, really? That means you're gonna have to put your joy token focuses on the other date and not Lillian because she hates joy and fun. But then there's the Darkness. This one is interesting because it reverses the effects of passion and broken hearts, meaning passion will actually make Lillian upset, but broken hearts will actually feel her passion. This one is always funny to me because it seems like every time I would get this, I would get more passion tokens than usual and less broken hearts. This game knows. This one is pretty easy to work around with because there is a gift that consumes all broken hearts in the grid. You can actually use that to your advantage because one of the gifts that you can get is able to consume all the broken hearts in the grid, which you can use towards Lillian so you can fulfill her passion very quickly. And it's a very cheap gift to use. It doesn't require any sentiment at all, actually. This is just a case of you having to be careful and remembering that the effects are reversed, and so you should use the passion towards your other date and use the broken hearts for Lillian. Lillian is actually a character I've grown to like over time. She may not be one of my favorites, but I actually think she's kind of alright. Polly is a character that before I just kind of thought that she was alright, and now I kind of have a little bit more of an appreciation for her. Polly is the only trans character in this game, which is really fucking cool to have. But she did also come with her own controversy. I remember this clearly because I was there when this game was rolling out. When Polly was revealed, people were not happy because it was a trans woman. That really was it. People were very toxic towards the character, so they added the option of whether you wanted Polly to have an innie or an outie. I felt it was wrong back then, and I still kind of feel that way now that they had to even add this option in the first place because of transphobic bum-ass fellas. But such is life. Also, if you are a transphobe, suck my dick, you don't belong here. Anyways, instead of talking about transphobes who are worthless scum, we have to talk about Polly because she is actually pretty cool. She's very traditional in the sense that she wants the old-fashioned, I love you, you love me, let's get married, all that jazz. She wants to be a housewife. She is really the old-fashioned kind of character, which kind of makes sense when you really look at her outfit selection. That girl pulls off a tuxedo better than me, I can't front. Considering all the other girls that you meet throughout this game, it is a breath of fresh air to have a character who just really wants that old-fashioned love. I like it. I really like it. She's a very pleasant character to talk to and be around, which makes it annoying that her baggage kinda sucks. Drama Queen is when you make Polly upset. She will drain forced sentiment from both you and your date. I think out of all of the make girl upset and she takes away something from you, this one is probably the harshest one. Especially when you're trying to get those higher sentiment gifts. If this happens to you, then you are probably screwed. Brand loyalist means Polly won't accept any jewelry or cosmetic gifts. This one I didn't have to worry about too much because it was rare for me to use any jewelry kind of gifts, but if you are someone who do use them, then you just gotta be careful. And then there's jealousy. Anytime Polly's date receives a gift, she will drain 5% from the total affection, which, oh brother. I'm someone who likes to try and set up gifts early, so when I'm ready to give my date a gift, Polly is just gonna drain the 5% of the total affection, which is very annoying when you start getting to the alpha dates, which means you have to focus on exhausting her just so you can work around giving your other date a gift. 5% may not sound like much, but trust me, it is. It builds up. Polly did deserve much better treatment than she got because she's actually a really sweet character. May not be one of my favorites, but when I see her, I just kind of always have a smile on my face because she's just pleasant to be around overall. Also, in all of the pictures involving her, she's always on top, so she be putting in the work. I don't know what to tell you. Nora is a character who I kind of have a love-hate relationship with. All the things I like about her doesn't involve gameplay. Nora is a character going through tough times which resorts to her doing things like stealing or selling drugs. But then you soon find out that she's doing this because she's trying to provide money for her cousin, Kiana. Yes, Kiana is Nora's cousin.
Hey, so I guess I sort of like got a confession to make. I did take your jewelry. I'm sorry, okay? I know it's fucked up. Cash is tight, you know? My cousin, she don't really make enough to support her kid, and like, she ain't got nobody else to help her.
You know what? Keep it.
What? No, it ain't right. Here, you gotta take it back, please.
Really, it's fine. I've got plenty of jewelry. It seems like you need it more than I do.
Yo, I don't know what to say.
Nora wants to be the caring aunt and she's doing everything she can because, remember, Kiana doesn't have a baby father in her life trying to help her take care of her kids. So, honestly, I can't even be mad at that. Especially when you look at all of her unique gifts being baby-related stuff, she really wants to help out Kiana. One thing I've always related to about Nora is that she's very closed off emotional-wise and she does have a lot of regrets for the things she does. You do learn a little more about this when she asks you questions about what's the hardest life lesson that you had to learn, or do you have regrets about the things you did in the past, how you feel about the prison system, or when was the last time you cried. I'm someone who has a tougher time opening up to people unless I've known them for a long time, and it does take me a while to trust people, so I'm really glad Nora kind of represents that for me. Her outfit selection too is on point. There is only one outfit that she has that I kind of don't like, and it's this Spiral Scout outfit. The hair, I don't really like it very much. But everything else, from her housekeeping outfit, the Caliente outfit, the badass bitch, the streetwear, the nighty night, oh my god, the Aquarius swimsuit. Oh yes. Oh my, yes. It's perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect. And of course, being Kiana's cousin, she gets Kiana's outfit, and she rocks it really well. I mean, look at the size of those melons. I mean, Kiana was already big, but Nora, whew, yeah, they go in melon to melon. Okay, and now we gotta get to the gameplay stuff where I don't like Nora anymore. There is only one character that Nora's compatible with that's easier to work around, and that's Lola. Everyone else that Nora's compatible with has some of the most annoying baggage in the game. Candace, Ashley, and Sarah, that's what really makes Nora's baggage even more obnoxious. First, there's Vindictive, where you can worry about this one the least, but it is still pretty scary. It's another one of those, if the girl gets upset, she removes something type of baggage, and this time she removes gifts from both you and the other date when you make her upset. You just gotta play really carefully to not upset her, but that might be a little difficult when you have Sarah giving a 50% chance of adding more broken hearts to the grid, which, gee, thanks Sarah, I really appreciate that. Then there's Emotionally Guarded, which makes her immune to broken heart matches but doubles the rate. You can already see how this one can be a little crazy. Doubling the amount of broken hearts on the grid can have an advantage if you have a gift that will change the broken hearts into something more positive, but it does leave you in a situation where you are much more acceptable to making the girls upset depending on who you're paired with. Like say Sarah again, where she has a 50% chance of dropping more broken hearts, so you're just gonna have a whole grid filled with broken hearts, and it's gonna be like walking on eggshells. Now you're probably thinking, well, if Nora doesn't get affected by the broken hearts, why not use a turn to just get rid of some of the broken hearts? And I mean, yeah, you can do that, but I find every turn is valuable, especially during the alpha mode dates. So using a turn to get rid of a broken heart is already a risk when I could be using those turns to potentially try and get a sentiment token or a joy token, if they ever decide to come down while I'm being swarmed by a bunch of broken hearts. And then there is abandonment issues. I think this is probably the most annoying baggage in the game. Every time you turn your attention away from Nora, she takes away 5% of the total affection that you gained. So you really have to be careful when it comes to switching off Nora. And the best way to do that is by actually making her exhausted. Yes, the best way to work around this is actually by making her exhausted, just so you can be able to do your other date without losing points. Now, you could delay switching to your other date by just giving Nora more stamina, but you still have to depend on the RNG to actually give you the stamina that you need. And then after you exhaust Nora, you have to be sure to be careful with your other date and make sure that they have enough stamina to maintain. I'm never opposed to challenge, but Huniepop is still a game that's kinda RNG dependent, so if you just have terrible luck on the grid not giving you the tokens that you may need, then baggages like these can really screw you over. So Nora on the gameplay side kinda sucks, but Nora the character, she's really cool and I like her. Lailani is actually pretty similar to Belly in quite a number of ways. She's all about romance and closeness, and she does have some self-confidence issues, much like Belly. But the difference with Lailani is that she actually is not a fan of sex all that much. Now, she's not an omega prude because obviously she wouldn't be in this game if she was, but she's not big on sex, which is funny that she's working in an island where sex is very prominent at.
A lot of people come here just to have wild orgies or hook up with total strangers. Is it? I never really noticed before. Sometimes I feel a little out of place working here, because I'm not really like that, you know? I don't mean to sound like a prude. I just like to take things a little slower.
It makes Lailani feel like the odd one out of the group, which I think kind of adds to her character. But I also like the fact that that doesn't mean that she's completely innocent, like her interaction with Sarah when she wanted to see her sushi.
Hey, Lailani, can you show me your sushi, please? What? Here? Well, I guess. No, I can't. What if we get caught? Aww. Okay, I'll show you real quick. As long as nobody else is looking. Oh, this is so embarrassing. Sugoi! I've always wanted to see a real Japanese person make sushi. What? Oh, you mean actual sushi? Yep. What did you think I meant? Nothing.
Or when she looks past Lillian's fake ID just so she can get a drink. So it is pretty cool that she's not completely a prude. Whatever they were cooking for Lailani's outfit, they wanted to make sure she had some of the best selection of outfits in the game. Her regular outfit is cute enough, but then we got the seafoam one, sunny day, hula dancer, infinity, her masseuse outfit, oh man, her kimono, and then the bunny suit. Oh my gosh, I never would have thought that she would look so good in a bunny suit, but man, she looks really good in it. And I wasn't kidding when she's very similar to Belly, because she actually does wear Belly's default outfit, and she looks cute in that as well. Another character with a 10 out of 10 outfit selection. She's honestly so close to being an A-ranked character if her baggage didn't exist. Now, I know I already said that Nora had some of the worst baggages in the game, but after looking back at Lailani's baggage, I've realized that she's also a problem. First, there's low self-esteem, which makes power tokens ineffective except for romance tokens. So if you have a power token for any other trait, it doesn't work on Lailani. It has to be a romance match, which is, oh, that really makes gaining points with her even harder. Especially when, once again, sometimes the grid just won't give you the tokens that you need. So if you have a grid that just won't give you the romance tokens, then you are practically screwed, and you are forced to just be focusing on your other date to get the power tokens with them. Then there's Sheepish, which prevents you from giving Lailani any hygiene or sex toy gifts. I forgot to mention that there are a few gifts that you can give that can actually block people's baggage. This is really helpful for characters like Nora, who has some very annoying baggage, but Lailani's baggage prevents you from using those gifts. So if you wanted to get rid of those annoying baggage, well, too bad, you can't now. Old Fashioned is one of the most egregious baggages in the game. For the first 15 moves, sexuality matches will cause Lailani to become upset. So for 15 moves, you have to avoid matching any sexuality tokens with Lailani. So you have to be really careful when you're trying to match up other tokens, because you may accidentally hit a sexuality match and now Lailani is upset. So if you do want to match sexuality, you better do it on your other date, even if your other date has a low attraction to sexuality like Sarah does. Unlike with Nikki, Lailani's self-esteem issue actually becomes a problem during the gameplay. I still really like her, but man do her baggage suck, I can't lie. Brooke Belrose, oh man, now we're talking. We're about to enter the milk factory, big boobs. Brooke is the owner of the resort of Al del Puna. And she's Audrey's mom. Yes, I am not kidding. This is Audrey's mom. So if you're wondering why Audrey was such a spoiled bitch, well, this is part of the reason. Which makes a lot of sense, but honestly, I'm not gonna complain because, well, I mean, just look at her. Do I even need to say any more about how she looks? She is gorgeous. I love me some MILFs. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And what makes Brooke even more interesting is that she is the only Huniepop girl who is actually married. So essentially, you're gonna be stealing someone's wife, and I mean, she doesn't mind at all. Brooke is a gold digger. She makes that very clear from the beginning. With her being Audrey's mother, you can just see how spoiled and entitled she is. Now you're probably thinking, if she's a terrible person much like Audrey, why is she ranked so high up on the list? She's a MILF. That's it. She's a MILF. Now her outfits. Where do I begin? Every single one of her outfits just showcases just how big her breasts are. And I mean, they are big. Whether she's in a bathrobe, an apron, sexy dresses, a pirate, or she can wear Venus's outfit, and I'm not gonna lie, she actually rocks it better than Venus, especially with the personality she has. If Venus was more like Brooke, I think I would actually like her more. Now, what about her baggage? Annoying, but a little bit easier to work around. Unsentimental is probably the most annoying one here because it reduces the amount of sentiment tokens by 20%. And you really do need those sentiment tokens if you really want to give those passive buffs to your dates. For expensive taste, Brooke doesn't allow any plushies or souvenir gifts. This one can be annoying, especially if you want to get rid of all the broken hearts, but as long as you exhaust Brooke, then you can give the plushie to the other date and then you'll get rid of the broken hearts. So it's a little annoying, but it's not that bad. And then we have the appropriately named Gold Digger, where she steals a turn every time you give your other date a gift. This one is a little easier to work around. I don't think you should be giving your other date anything more than 2 gifts. But at least with this one, you do have the option to exhaust Brooke or just block it. So, Brooke may not be the best person in the world, but man, does her looks make up for it. However, she is not the top MILF. There is only one MILF that takes my heart, and you already know who it is. It was right here. It was right here where Jessie made that my love for older women decided to develop. And I don't regret it. Jessie is an adult film star, which already, that's a plus for me. I've always been pretty open about supporting not safe for work creators, so we don't shame them over here. And she did do it to help support her daughter Tiffany. Yes, Tiffany is her daughter. We'll get more into this in a little bit. Jessie isn't a horrible person, but she is pretty selfish. Her questions definitely has morally questionable answers. Like sleeping around when you're dating someone, your partner seeing someone else on the side. I'm someone who is very much into loyalty, so I would feel very ashamed at the thought of cheating. I couldn't do it, man. Another important thing to note is that she thinks that family is the most important thing in the world. It is very clear that Jessie loves her daughter despite her occupation. That's how she got into the industry in the first place, because she wanted to support Tiffany. Just because she's an adult worker doesn't mean she's any less human, which is something that people tend to forget. One thing I'm a little disappointed about with Jessie is that her outfits are kinda mid in Huniepop 1. Like, I really like her default outfit. That one is very good. I also really like the bunny suit and the purple passion one. These are great, but the other ones, I could really do without. And I think what's also a problem is that Jessie in particular in the Huniepop 1 style is a little... I'll just say that there are definitely other girls in Huniepop 1 that looks better than her in this art style. So that didn't really do her any favors. I liked Jessie in Huniepop 1, but I didn't really love her. But I did love Jessie in Huniepop 2. This is the Jessie I'm in love with. You want to talk about glow-ups? Well, this is the glow-up right here. Huniepop 2 definitely does a lot of the heavy lifting for Jessie, which makes sense because there are some things that need some heavy lifting. Jessie's outfit game went from mid to a 10 out of 10. Look what they did to her default outfit. I mean, whoo, yeah. Then she's also got some really nice ones like the hibiscus, the pillow talk, the blue wave. Oh, yes, the blue wave. And then she also has her Christmas one, which is honestly fitting considering I'm making this video in December. And then she also have an angel and a devil one, which is also really nice. There is only one that kind of makes me uncomfortable, and it's the one where she dresses as Tiffany, which... okay, let's talk about it. So at this point in Huniepop 2, Tiffany has completely cut off all contact with her mother. You already kind of figured that Tiffany has a strained relationship with Jessie due to her occupation, especially when you remember that one of her questions is asking how I feel about family, and Tiffany wants to stay far away from Jessie. This hurts Jessie quite a lot, and she actually gets very depressed during this time in the game. And on top of that, she hasn't been getting much work because she's getting older. This also shows in her change in traits, because before her highest trait was sexuality, but now her highest trait is romance. This is unironically the I don't want to be horny anymore, I want to be happy meme. I feel like a much closer friend to Jessie, even though I am just her sugar baby after all. But she sort of confides in me as well, even asking if I would like to meet Tiffany sometime, which, well, I already did that. And then she asks that sometimes she wonders if she was better off not having Tiffany in the first place, which is really sad to think about, man. Tiffany, please, reconnect with your mother. Jessie's baggage is actually not that bad in this game. There's busted vag, which... oh man, that's really messed up. Busted vag just means that Jessie can only accept sexuality matches as long as they're +4. That's not too bad, and considering that romance is her preferred trait this time around, I can work around that one. And there are other secondary traits that you can match instead to still gain some more points. There's depression, which means that Jessie will lose 1 sentiment after every 5 moves, and she's depressed obviously because, well, Tiffany's gone from her life. Man, I just want to run up to her and just hug her and tell her that everything will be okay. I'm going to commission someone to draw this, by the way. Just you wait. And then we got emphysema, which there's a 20% chance that Jessie will not recover stamina with each move. Her smoking habits had finally caught up to her, so now when you make a move on her, there's a chance that she won't recover any stamina, and that could be a problem. Especially when you're trying to build up stamina for Jessie, there would just be a chance where she could be coughing up a storm twice, and she will not build up any stamina when you're dealing with the other girl. But if you are lucky and are able to grab a stamina token, then you're okay. Jessie has always had a place in my heart, and I love her dearly. I honestly want to see another Huniepop game just so I can see if Tiffany and Jessie will have a conclusion to their story, because that's actually the most interesting side plot that's going on right now. We are at the final stretch here, and it's time to reveal my top 2 favorite Huniepop girls. And the next one is my favorite newcomer from Huniepop 2, Zoe. My love for Zoe has definitely grown over the years. I used to always like her, but now I love her even more these days. The thing about Zoe is that she's crazy. Like, actually, she's crazy. But somehow she's also self-aware and actually wants to help us achieve our goal. You know what? I'm not even gonna complain about that. Just the way Zoe speaks and her mannerism is very unorthodox. Not that it's a bad thing, in fact, I think it really adds to her character.
Lillian, do you find me attractive?
I mean, yeah, like, I'd fuck you.
Thank you. That is all I needed to know.
Sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but I simply have to ask, what in the world are you wearing?
I'm wearing clothes. Most find the naked human body to be, for some reason, objectionable.
No, I mean, how did you come up with this wild style of yours?
Do you find my appearance disagreeable?
Just the opposite, actually. The outfit, the hair, the shoes. I love this look. You have got to tell me where you get your clothing and accessories from.
What's even cooler about Zoe is that much like Venus in the previous game, all of her questions relates to the other girls. To give an example, there's a deep sadness and much regret. She wishes she could start over, but fears it's far too late. That one is talking about Jessie. I really like these kind of questions. Zoe has 0 bad outfits. 0. Absolutely no bad outfits. 11 out of 10 costume choices. Whether it's her default, the toxicity, sacrilege, sugar high, cheetah, dreamsicle. This was my favorite. Scareho. Whoever thought of that name deserves an award. She even dresses up as Nikki and Celeste, which, look at her. She rocks these costumes so well. This is perfect. This is perfect. I need more of this. And when it comes to her baggage, she's actually not that bad. There's Titness, where when your focus is on Zoe, joy tokens won't fall on the grid. Now that does sound kinda bad if you're a little strapped for turns, but if you are able to get some turns before the date starts, or if you bring a date plush that gives you turns, then you should be okay. There's kinda crazy, which breaks an entire row of tokens every time you make a move on Zoe. This isn't really a bad thing. At most, it can probably mess up a combo you were aiming for, but overall, it's a pretty harmless baggage. And then we have Aquaphobia. This is sort of similar to Lillian's baggage, only this time, instead of passion and broken hearts, it's now sentiment and broken hearts. So, you want to match broken hearts so you can give more sentiment to Zoe. Zoe is perfect. I actually have nothing bad to say about her. I just love her a whole lot. But she will never be number 1 in my heart. There's only one person reserved for that. Lola Rembright is my favorite girl from Huniepop. It was love at first sight when I first saw her, and I still love her even to this day. She's an entrepreneur that's also a flight attendant who's always pushing to do even better. She's not complacent at all. She wants to keep moving on to the top, and honestly, I appreciate her for that. I'm someone who is very hard on himself, and I always feel like I'm not good enough, so seeing a character that isn't complacent and still wants to work to achieve their goals, even years later, that's something I could get behind. I may not be in the best spot now, but if I keep working hard eventually, I should get some results. And even then, I shouldn't just be satisfied with what I have. I should just keep aiming to go higher. Which is where a lot of Lola's passion comes from. I think it is really funny that the things I like most about Lola is that she's the complete opposite of me. She's the super outdoorsy type. She's oozing with self-confidence, and she's very good at sports, which I am most definitely not. This is a case of opposites attract, and man, does she make me attracted to her. Her outfit selection is pretty nice in Huniepop 1. Not my favorite, but still pretty good. That swimsuit is extremely skimpy. I mean, Oh my goodness, ma'am. Oh, I'm not complaining. I'm just enamored. But when we get to Huniepop 2, oh my goodness. My whole life has changed since you came in. I knew back then. God damn. She took her old flight attendant outfit and made a few modifications. And in Huniepop 2, she actually has her own entrepreneurship going on. She's actually a fashion designer, which congratulations to her. I'm so proud of her. And of course, she's another character with 11 out of 10 outfit choices. Her popping off outfit, the elegance and cream puff one, the Jamaikini, and the, oh my god, the mocha latte. Woo! The Afrikini, her tennis outfit, and she even has a basketball and football outfit, which I'm going to assume she made this herself, and I kinda like it. She's practically the same character, still trying to reach for the top, still trying to be very successful. It's kind of the opposite of Jessie, where you reconnect with a friend and they're actually doing better than ever now. It's just nice to see. Her baggages also ain't too bad either. Busy schedule means that every 10 turns, one additional move will be taken from you, which that one's a little easy to work around, especially with all the gifts that gives you extra turns. There's Miss Independent, where Lola will refuse gifts until she has 30% passion, which is another easy workaround. Before the date starts, you could just give her a food item that boosts her passion up, and then boom, you could already give her a gift. Easy peasy. And then you have Caffeine Junkie, where Lola just absorbs all stamina matches. And I mean, that could be a little annoying and it is a little random, but it's not too bad, honestly. It's manageable. So, personality I really love, outfits that I really love, and baggage that are actually pretty manageable. I think Lola is the perfect character for me, honestly. I know a lot of people may disagree, but it's my list, so Lola is number one in my heart, and that's all that matters. And this is the full tier list of how I feel about every Huniepop girl. If you've made it this far into the video, first off, you're crazy, and second, I really appreciate you for sticking around, and it means a lot. I know this is very different from my usual content, but I did have a lot of fun making this video because I genuinely love Huniepop. And hey, we may not get another one, so you know what? I'm down to just get this list out and express how I feel about Huniepop. So I thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.